Good morning, I'm Rich Pawson, and this is a brief update here of the stock market, morning brief, if you will. I'm going to make this free because I'm going to discuss another index that I'm following and may very well, for my own money or perhaps other people's money, trade a fund that's related to that index. I also want to point out that this week I think I'll see the final opening up of my account here for friends and family at Interactive Brokers. And if you'd like me to manage your money, let me know and I'll give you the details. And then you can sign up. At any rate, what we have is that this is the SP 500 E-mini futures. This is an intraday chart. It's a 6-hour chart. And just wanted to show it was following this trend line of an L3 uptrend, meaning the type of trader that makes the larger up moves and down moves during a month. That's how business is done for the month. They've been net buying, of course, okay? But you can see it's slipping below this trend line. And inside this, there are level 4 swings. I've only labeled a few of these. This is not placed correctly. This should be out like this. So what's occurring is that this level 4 has been a little bit broken up here. And ideally, it tops early today, and the market will move lower. And we do have the Federal Reserve, or the FOMC meeting, coming on board today and tomorrow. I would think they'd be more concerned tomorrow. I'm not sure how that's going to fit. That's really too late for a level 4. It may mean that they're going to be selling for a while after that level 4. We'll see, and I'll update you along the way. But at any rate, I think it's time for them to put this market down again, say to 39.50 and maybe even as low as 39.11. But I really don't see much lower than that at this time. Now, this level 3 trend can roll over and in theory could bottom as soon as today, but I'm more likely it's going to bottom later this week on into early next week for that larger trend. Now let me switch over to the daily. And as stated yesterday, I am bearish Bitcoin. It looks like it's working for me. Trying to remain bearish the dollar, even though we knew we had this bounce coming because of the interest rates. I think it's time to pull back. I don't have much to say on crude oil. And then I think it pretty much wraps up the outside markets I was interested in. Well, of course, the interest rates really haven't done much anything. They're staying at elevated levels. And for all I know, they're heading for 2% this year. That could hurt the stock market if it occurs at a very fast pace. Right at the moment, I think the stock market is trying to tell us that it will get used to these higher interest rates. It knows there's no going back. The economy is going to grow. Anyway, here's the daily chart, and this is that level 3 trend I showed you on the intraday. And this is the 5-day average. They did buy it near the 5-day average. You always want to watch out for that. They may yet run it up to this trend line, getting above 4,000, new record high. But there is a level 3 bottom due in coming days, okay? Later this week on into early next, there should be some kind of setback before going higher for those still larger trends. The daily stochastic is very overbought, so the technical is supporting the model outlook for a level 3 downswing. But what I want to warn you is I'm concerned it won't be much of a downswing. This is a level 3 downswing. This was a larger level 3 downswing because of a larger downtrend. And the same thing for here, larger downtrends, and so you got more downside. I'm thinking there's really little downside for this coming level 3, but it is something to consider that they should sell this in the next few days, and it may have something to do with either preparing for the FOMC report or that they don't like something out of that meeting and out of that report. So here's a new index I'm following, and I just realized I didn't update it much at all with weekly or with the trend data, model data. Any rate, this is the Ultra Midcap 400 Pro Shares. I'm using a symbol of MVV. And yesterday it finished at $63.94 a share. The model's saying this is a level 1 top. And it's saying just in a few weeks it's going to put a level 2 top, which is a warning that on our primary forecast, which is always hinged to the S&P 500 and used for the entire stock market, we may have made a mistake of altering those level 1 tops a bit, that it can come in at what we previously forecast, in other words, in prior weeks. So we want to watch out for an earlier top than what we've been suggesting. This fund is a nice addition, and that is what it is the SP 500 or SP 400 mid-cap stocks. And I'm going to start using this in my managed accounts, in my own personal account, when I need a little more diversification. Remember, I'm a macroeconomic trader. I trade the entire stock market. I don't even get involved in sectors, but that's probably something I will add to this service over time. And I'm not interested in individual stocks. But sometimes when I'm trying to trade a variety of trends, from short term, intermediate term to long term, with a focus on intermediate to long term, sometimes I find I'd like to stay in a specific fund for a specific trend to better track the performance of it real time, see it in my account without having to do the math, which means I really need another kind of fund. And it's interesting, these funds I use are 2x funds. It gives me an leverage here to beat the market. And I've learned that 85% in a recent polling could not beat the market. Those were active managers. I consider myself an active manager even though I focus on intermediate long term and not so fast term. But I must say I'm in the 15% using this model, but part of that's also the tactic, meaning the type of investment products I use are helping to beat the market. Manage your risk relative to analysis of others. Consider this fund as well as consider the index behind it as something else we're going to look at. Consider we've got a chance for a near-term setback, but all of that fits inside of larger uptrends, I believe. Thank you and have a great day. And if you want to let me know that you'd like me to contact you, email me at rich@ag-financial.com. And I will contact you about this managed account program in the stock market.